Just saw The Assessment. This was by director Fleur de Fortune, if I'm saying that right. Then this is starring Elizabeth Olsen, Himesh Patel, and Alicia Vikander, who, by the way, is legitimately one of my favorite actresses, just in her most famous role, Ex Machina, but also in the role of The Light Between Oceans with Michael Fassbender, and The Danish Girl, which was another great movie. I'll immerse you a little bit. This is a futuristic world that after a lot of environmental factors, a lot of disease, a lot of famine, a lot of death and destruction going on, the group of survivors that were left ended up creating what they call the New World. In this New World, if you submit to the will of the state, you get to basically live the life that you are granted or that you are lucky to live. You take a pill, and because of this pill that you have to take every day, you basically live forever. You never get disease, you never suffer from any famine, you never even age. However, another side effect of it is that it makes you infertile, which is a way of control, but it's also very, I'll get there. So in the story, this couple, played by Elizabeth Olsen and Himesh Patel, want to basically become parents. However, in this new world, the state is the one that dictates whether or not you qualify. So in order to verify that, you have to go through to what they call the assessment. In the assessment, Alicia Vikander shows up and assesses for 7 days whether or not the couple is actually ready to receive a child. However, it is not as easy as it seems because unfortunately, the assessment requires several tests. Some of them the couple were not expecting in the slightest. Alicia Vikander's character, her name is Virginia, she starts acting like a child, throwing things in dinner, making a fuss, just basically being childlike, and honestly driving Elizabeth Olsen's character insane. And then they start playing like this little weird thing where they start having favorites, like the child having more of a better relationship with the father than the mother, and then how that spikes up feelings of jealousy between the parents. It's very interesting, very cool. It only takes place in one spot, and that is the house that the movie takes place in, which I appreciate. However, it kind of shows you hints and stuff of how the world really is. In this movie, they actually eat the bugs. Yeah, there's literal bugs because in this planet, all the crops die, so they basically eat bugs and whatever plants they can grow inside greenhouses, and it's kind of gross and disgusting, but I love those little small details as well. Himesh's character plays like this scientist. He's able to use AI in a way and kind of like technology to create something realistic. So he's working on trying to make a cat feel fluffy, you know, feel realistic. And it's very interesting because it leads up to the ending of the movie. A little bit too much exposition at times, so sometimes I wish they would have shown rather than a lot of talking, but it wasn't like it took me out of the movie, so it wasn't that big of a deal. The music wasn't really that memorable. It had its goods, it had its bads. It wasn't like something that shocked me, but I honestly don't remember the music that much, so a bit more exploration of certain topics. This movie brings up a lot of very, very interesting topics, you know, especially with the society living by the state and the consequences, and how they are just so merry and so happy to go along with things. Like, they understand what the state is doing that's kind of messed up, and they're just like, yeah, I don't care, I'm comfortable. Unless you want to go to the old world, which is the world where the people that don't submit to the state end up going, which is the world that's affected by radiation, crops are dying, you know, good luck surviving, basically. That's what they tell you in the movie. The relationship between the couple, how each of them have their own parenting styles, and how that's like kind of like colliding between the two. Very well done, in my opinion. Himesh did a fantastic job acting, in my opinion. I love to see him in more. And so is Elizabeth Olsen. Elizabeth Olsen was fantastic in this movie, surprisingly. Alicia Vikander, I mean, I love her. She was fantastic. Her character was insane. And honestly, halfway through the movie, I ended up like being like, oh my God, you know, who is the assessor? Who are these people? Like, who are these people that are willing to go through this kind of crazy buffoonery? And it's funny enough, the movie does answer my question, and it's even sadder, to be honest, which I love, but it's like, oh, this movie's kind of bleak in some ways, but I appreciated it kind of shows you the entitlement of these people that are in this perfect world where they don't age and they don't get diseases and they can control whether or not they have children, and it's all about them. And they're talking about the people that don't choose to live in that way like they're beneath them, like they're better than them because they live this way, because they're willing to submit to the state, which is crazy because when they have that whole conversation in the dinner, it's so fascinating that they were talking about it, just seeing it from their perspective. And then of course Alicia Vikander's character, acting like a child, starts sitting in their lab and does something very funny. It's just overall, it's just crazy disaster. But it has a lot going on in this movie, and I really loved it. I ended up connecting a lot to Elizabeth Olsen's character at the ending of the movie a lot. She goes through a lot in this movie, but so does Himesh. Like, the whole situation between the relationship and the assessor goes bonkers, guys. I'm not even lying. There are so many parts in this movie where it goes to the, this is getting kind of freaky, guys. I don't know if I approve of this anymore. And it goes there, and we're just along for the ride, and it just keeps getting worse. And you're just like, what the hell? But it's so well done. It's so well done. Appreciate that the characters do have a choice in the matter. Like, there is never a moment in this movie where it tells you that they have to live this way no matter what. It does say that if you don't want to live in this manner, you can just go back to the old world. Nothing is stopping you. It gives you the stakes. It really does. And then with the ending, I'm not gonna spoil it because I really do want you guys to see it. Please check it out. The ending to me was fantastic. It's a little grim, it's a little bleak, but to me, I absolutely loved. I really do give this movie a 7 out of 10. It really deserves it. Is it perfect? No. But is it a fantastic concept and they executed it well? Could they have done a little bit more? Sure. But overall, to me, a solid 7, closer to an 8 is where I'm comfortable at with this movie. Leave your comments down below. I'll see y'all for the next one. Okay, guys? Bye.